welcome to Mind Your Business, the channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip. Well, the unresolved trauma was definitely spilling out in this episode. Let's talk about it, people. Welcome to support my critics crew. Let's talk about Married to Medicine and what episode it was. It was very entertaining. Now let's just cut to the chase, because this sit down at the end, the couples, meet up at the pool, was very interesting. I mean, from the seating, because I thought it was very interesting that they put Quad and her man King just in front of Quad's ex-husband, Dr. G, and his new wife, Sweet Tea. So I was thinking, you guys are being messy, because why are you sitting them so close to each other? It's giving something's going to go on here. Then we've got Phaedra coming with her man that she met on her blind date. I was like, okay, good for you. I see a little chest move there with Heavenly. So Heavenly was definitely surprised, and I was like, yes, Phaedra, do your thing. But yeah, the whole couples mix up was interesting, because I feel like the whole blow up between Quad and Dr. G and stuff, it was started really by Quad, because we know Quad was quite lit, okay? And I feel like Quad wanted to get her lick back on Dr. G. She's on the show. He comes back to the show with his new wife. Now she's got her man. Her man looks good. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. And then they're sitting there asking them questions like, how many times you have sex? And she's chatting about 15 times in a week. Lord have mercy. Dr. G is looking like, what? They're kissing. Dr. G and Sweet Tea talking about they're doing it, 2 times a week or more when they're trying to, in their fertility window. Quad's chatting about, you need to have more sex. I'm like, Quad, Lord have mercy. This rum is getting to her. I can tell she's lit. She's freeing up her mouth and she's letting things slip out. I was like, Lord, clutching my invisible pearls. Because when she's turning around saying, yeah, you guys need to have more sex, I was thinking, okay, let me see how this is going down. His face looked like thunder, whereas Sweet Tea was taking it on the chin and she was just like giggling, kind of like, oh, whatever kind of thing. But then it went left when Toya said, started laughing, was like, oh, it's a bit awkward with, Dr. G's right there. It's a bit awkward. And, Sweet Tea's saying, well, she don't feel awkward. But I'm like, Sweet Tea, you won't feel awkward. It's not your ex-husband. It's not your ex-wife. There's none of that happening for you. It is your husband's ex-wife that's sitting in front of him. And I feel like a lot of the answers that she was giving was just rubbing salt in his wounds, because like the couple said, at the end of the day, they were married, and we saw them on the show having intimacy issues. So remember when she was saying she weren't having sex with him, he wanted to have kids. She didn't want to have them. Now she's chatting about she's ready to bust it wide open and have King's kid, and how much she's having sex with her new man. So I feel like that was definitely getting at him. Now, Sweet Tea messed up to me where she was, I get it, she's trying to stick up for her man. But what happened between, her man and his ex is their business. Well, she chipped in when Quad said that she left him and she chose to leave him, and she made that point. And I felt like that was her, getting back at him. Because we know he put her through a lot. But I felt like Sweet Tea should have just, zipped it there and just been like, that was before my time, and just be quiet. But instead I felt like she felt the need to defend him and be like, oh, well, he wanted to leave. And then Greg turned around and said, well, I fought for my marriage. I think it's fine to fight for marriage. So I'm like, well, that shows you, honey, that you don't know the full story. So just stay out of that bit. But it just went kind of left after that. And what I didn't like was Gregory, shouting at Sweet Tea, telling her, you're good, she's good, you're good, she's good. I was like, no, you shouldn't be screaming at a woman's face like that. That doesn't look good. You got Quad sitting there talking about, well, my man would never, King would never talk to me like this. I was just like, Lord, this is a shit show. Kind of entertaining. But it was a lot. And I felt like Gregory was very triggered, and it showed. And considering the line of work that he's in, I just feel like he doesn't have much self-control. I find it really bizarre, because isn't he a psychiatrist or something like that? So I'm like, okay, you deal with people's minds all the time, yet you seem to have issues with yours. I get it. It's a triggering moment. And it's hard to be around your ex and seeing maybe your ex being all loved up and very happy with a guy who looks much, much more muscular and, in my personal view, better looking. But, that must be a lot. But he's got his wife, and I like Sweet Tea. I just felt like she'd done the wrong thing there by trying to stick up for him, because essentially it's not your argument. So at that point, I was like, yeah, you can't really go back and forth with Quad or anything, because that's between them two. It's very awkward for her, though. I do see that. And I felt like also it was awkward for King. And I felt like King is showing that he's a good guy, because he's essentially, giving her grace to have this little meltdown. But she's got unhealed trauma and she needs to work through that. I feel like they both do, Gregory and her, because clearly he's triggered. But I feel like he's triggered because of like I said, the things that, were lacking in his relationship with her. She's clearly flourishing in hers and fluent in his face, as he did with, Sweet Tea, essentially. But I felt a bit bad for Sweet Tea at the end, because like, Sweet Tea, you're not getting it, babe. Like, Dr. Contessa and Toya tried to kind of school you at the end, like, yeah, he might be a little bit vexed because, certain things that he's hearing. And she's like, no, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. I'm like, you're missing the mark, honey. It is definitely that. And he shouldn't be taking it on you for you defending yourself. I got where she was coming from. She's like, well, someone's coming for me. I'm going to come back at them. So that to me, I thought, yeah, I kind of understood that. But it's just that in this predicament, because you kind of inserted yourself in a little bit in there, it was like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. And Quad saying she's going to throw her baby shower, I was like, Lord have mercy, what is going on? I know she's just been lighthearted, but I was like, you're doing a lot, considering your ex-husband wanted a kid. So yeah, it was a lot. So even towards the ending, obviously we know Sweet Tea has spoken out saying that apparently they edited out a scene where her and Quad were going at it. I presume it was at around that time, because when Quad said, oh yeah, like, where's this girl from? And she shouted out Texas. I thought clearly there must be something going on there. So once again, I blame editing. And why would you not show that? Because we would want to see that. But yeah, anyway, I thought it was an interesting episode. There's a lot of trauma that needs to be healed. I think it'd be interesting to see what happens next week, because it's looking like it's pretty lit next week as well. There's a lot going on. I'm just like, Lord have mercy. But yeah, I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. Like I said, I just didn't like that Dr. G was shouting at Sweet Tea like that. I didn't really like that for her. I felt a bit awkward for her in that situation. But considering she was just trying to look out for him at the end of the day, and her whole thing is like, she don't see the big deal. But I'm like, you don't see the big deal, honey, because you clearly wasn't watching the last previous episodes with a minute. Otherwise, you would click. It should click. Anyway, of course, once you go and check out social media to see what people were saying on there, here are some tweets that have me cracking up. Okay, so you've seen those and you've heard what I have to say. Now, what are you saying about the show? Let me know your thoughts below. Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.